Shalom. I want to start this lesson off by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. That'll be the correct name of the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son in ancient Hebrew. I want to give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the hopeful elect pushing this truth around the four corners of the earth, along with the men, women, and children that are predestined to receive salvation. Shalom. All right, so this one I want to go into the true meaning of hell. All right, the correct meaning of hell, because we grew up in these false religions telling us that hell is a fiery place that you go straight to when you die and you just suffer and get punished, you know, if you don't live a perfect life in this life. Okay, that's what they tell you, but the scriptures tell us different. All right, and we're going to dive right into them to get the true understanding of what hell really is. Okay, all right, so from there I'm gonna go straight into it. Let's start off with the book of Amos chapter 9 and verse 1. So it says, I saw the Lord standing upon the altar. Now this is a prophecy, okay, of the prophet Amos seeing judgment of the Lord. So he says, I saw the Lord standing upon the altar, and he said, smite the lintel of the door, that the posts may shake, and cut them in the head, all of them, and I will slay the last of them with the sword. He that fleeth of them shall not flee away, and he that escapeth them shall not be delivered. Verse 2, it says, though they dig into hell, thence shall my hand take them. Though they climb up to heaven, thence will I bring them down. Okay, so this is talking about a people trying to escape the judgment of the Lord. Now notice what it says in verse 2. It says, though they dig into hell. All right, examples of that is you have the top elites digging, building underground bunkers to escape the judgment of the future judgment of the Lord that's coming. All right, they think that they're going to escape the judgment of the Lord. They think they're going to escape that fire, you know, coming from those nuclear missiles first and foremost, and then the lasers on top of it from the angels, that fire that the Lord is bringing, you know, along with his angels. Okay, all right, because in Revelation he said death and hell shall be cast into the lake of fire. Now right here is saying that you're going to have people try to dig into hell, into the grave, to escape the judgment of the Lord. All right, I'm going to read verse 3. It says, and though they hide themselves in the top Carmel, I will search and take them out thence. And though they be hid from my sight in the bottom of the sea, okay, they're going to try to hide also in the bottom of the sea. Thence will I command the serpent, and he shall bite them. All right, what serpent? You have a big sea monster that the Lord created down there in the ocean called Leviathan. Okay, you have Leviathan, which is the sea monster, and then you have Behemoth, which is the land monster. In the book of Job, the Lord said those two mighty beasts cannot dwell together because they're so strong and so powerful and so dangerous. All right, but the Lord, he reveals these things on his time. Okay, that's the reason why you still have these scientists discovering these different big sea monsters and stuff like that. All right, when we cannot escape the Lord's judgment. Okay, we cannot escape. So I'm gonna get into that word hell right here in verse 2. Though they dig into hell. Okay, all right, here hell, Sheol.
Strong's H 7585, Sheol, Sheol, and second entry, Sheol, Sheol.
All right, Sheol. Okay, so it says the underworld, grave, hell, pit, the underworld. All right, B, it says Sheol, the Old Testament designation for the abode of the dead, place of no return, without praise of God. That's also a condition. Wicked sent there for punishment, righteous not abandoned to it, of the place of exile, of extreme degradation of sin. Okay, all right, so it's a condition, and also it's the grave, and we're going to get into that on how it can also be a condition, a hellish condition. You know, haven't you heard the term like, damn, I'm going through hell? Okay, well, that's also hell mentioned in the scriptures. Okay, so we're going to go to the book of Jonah. All right, the book of Jonah, chapter 2. Start off with verse 1. It says, Then Jonah prayed unto the Lord his God out of the fish's belly, and said, I cried by reason of mine affliction unto the Lord, and he heard me. Out of the belly of hell cried I, and thou heardest my voice. Okay, now he's in the fish's belly. He said, out of the belly of hell I cried. Okay, so let's see what he's talking about in this hell. All right, same thing. Sheol, the underworld, the grave, the pit, the underworld. Let's see. So in his condition right there, without praise of God. Okay, without praise of God. That's the hell that Jonah was talking about, without praise of God. The reason why, let's read into the reason why he was cast into the belly. All right. Verse 2, it says, And I said, I cried by reason of my affliction unto the Lord, and he heard me. Out of the belly of hell cried I, and thou heardest my voice. Verse 3, For thou hadst cast me into the deep, in the midst of the seas, and the floods compassed me about. All thy billows and thy waves passed over me. Then I said, I am cast out of thy sight. You see? So Jonah, he was cast out of the Lord's sight. All right, praise without God. Okay, so the Lord, because Jonah, he was supposed to go prophesy in Nineveh, and he was trying to escape his job, what the Lord called him to do. So the Lord casted him out of his sight and put him in a hellish condition, into the belly of a well. All right, verse 4 says, Then I said, I am cast out of thy sight, yet I will look again toward thy holy temple. That's when he prayed unto the Lord, and the Lord delivered him. Verse 5, it says, The waters compassed me about, even to the soul. The depth closed me round about. The weeds were wrapped about my head. I went down to the bottoms of the mountain. The earth with her bars was about me forever. Yet hast thou brought up my life from corruption, O Lord my God. When my soul fainted within me, I remembered the Lord, and my prayer came unto thee into the holy temple. See, because Jonah fainted, you know, when the Lord casted him into that well, into that hell, into that condition of the belly. Okay. Verse 8, They that observe lying vanities forsake their own mercy. But I will sacrifice unto thee with the voice of thanksgiving. I will pay that I have vowed, salvation of the Lord. Okay, he cried for mercy. He cried unto the Lord. And Jonah still had to go to Nineveh and do his job, what he agreed to do with the Lord. Okay, verse 10, it says, And the Lord spake unto the fish, and it vomited out Jonah upon the dry land. Okay, all right, so that's that condition of hell right there. Okay, that's that hell. All right, that that Jonah had went through. All right, it's not, that wasn't a place of fiery burning. All right, and then we read in Amos that though they dig themselves into hell, that's the grave. All right, digging down where dead people exists. Okay, all right, so from there we're going to go to the book of Isaiah. The book of Isaiah, chapter 5 and verse 14. Let's start off with verse 13. It says, Therefore my people are gone into captivity, because they have no knowledge. All right, my people were destroyed for lack of knowledge, Hosea 4 and 6. All right, so we had to go into captivity. I'm gonna read it again. Therefore my people are gone into captivity, because they have no knowledge, and their honorable men are famished, and their multitude dried up with thirst. Therefore hell has enlarged herself, and opened her mouth without measure, and the glory in multitude and their pomp, and he that rejoiceth shall descend into it. Okay, notice it's not saying fire. All right, it says hell has enlarged itself, which means they're going to go through hell. All right, his people went into captivity, into slavery, went famished at the bottom of the bottomless. All right, verse 15, it says, And the mean man shall be brought down, and the mighty man shall be humbled, and the eyes of the lofty shall be humbled. But the Lord of hosts shall be exalted in judgment, and Yahweh that is holy shall be sanctified in his righteousness. Okay, so that was judgment of the Lord from him casting his people into exile, into captivity, into slavery, in a hellish condition at the bottom of society. All right, their glory was taken away. Okay, he said, therefore hell has enlarged herself. All right, because there was no knowledge. Our people were destroyed for lack of knowledge. All right, so from there, let's go to the book of Matthew. The book of Matthew. Let's see, chapter 12 and verse 40. All right. It says, for as Jonas was 3 days and 3 nights in the whale's belly, so shall the Son of Man be 3 days and 3 nights in the heart of the earth. Okay? In that hellish condition, the grave. All right? The grave, just like what we read about in Amos chapter 9 and verse 2. Though they dig into hell. All right? Now we know that our Father, our Lord and Savior, Yahweh Shai, all right, was dead for 3 days, you know, rose on the 3rd day. All right, that's what that's talking about. Verse 41, the men of Nineveh shall rise in judgment with this generation and shall condemn it, because they repented at the preaching of Jonas, and behold, a greater than Jonas is here. Okay, that greater than Jonas is Yahweh Shai, man. All right, he died. He paid a price with blood for us to understand these scriptures, this prophecy, okay, to have understanding of these words. All right, so from there I want to go to the book of Matthew chapter 5 and verse, let's see, 22. All right, so it says, but I say unto you that whosoever is angry with his brother without a cause shall be in danger of the judgment. And whosoever shall say to his brother, Rakah, shall be in danger of the council. But whosoever say, thou fool, shall be in danger of hell fire. All right, so let's go into that where it says hell fire. All right. Okay. So this one is a different Greek word, Gehenna. All right, the other one was Sheol. Okay.
Strong's G 1067. Gehenna. Gehenna.
All right, so the Greek word for this hell is Gehenna. Different definition. It says hell is the place of future punishment called Gehenna, or Gehenna of fire. You see that? Future punishment. Now, if hell was a fiery place burning right now, where people screaming, you know, right when you die, that would make this a lie right here. All right, it says Gehenna, it says hell is the place of future judgment called Gehenna, Gehenna of fire. This was originally the valley of Hinnom, south of Jerusalem, where the filth and dead animals of the city were cast out and burned. Why? To clean the city. Okay. A fit symbol of the wicked and their future destruction. Why? Because the wicked need to get burnt off the face of the earth for purification, to purify the earth. Okay. That's the reason why when you go into the book of Revelation, it says hell and death shall be cast into the lake of fire. Right here is saying where the filth and dead animals of the city were cast out and burned. All right. You don't need that because they're dead animals. Okay. They're dead animals and all the filth. All right. Now, today on the world, you have a bunch of filthy people, filthy behavior. Okay. You have the LGBTQ. All right. You have just all kind of adultery going on. All right. You have transformers. You know, just it's just crazy. All right. It's just nothing but wickedness, and it has to be burnt off the face of the earth because it's trash. Wickedness is basically considered trash. All right. And we're going to get into that. All right. Where it says death and hell shall be cast into the lake of fire. All right, so I'm going to go to the book of Habakkuk. Okay. The book of Habakkuk, chapter 2. Let's see. We'll start off with verse 2. And it says, "And the Lord answered me and said, Write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come and will not tarry." All right. So the vision was yet for an appointed time. At the end it shall speak. Now in these end times, these last days, we're finally getting the understanding of what the Lord was trying to say in his scriptures. All right. Just like what we read, that hell place of future judgment. All right. And when we went into that hell, Gehenna, it was a place where filth and dead animals were burned up. All right. To clean the filth off the land. Okay. Verse 4, it says, "Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith." All right. Now, right here, we know in Habakkuk, this is talking about Esau right here. Okay. Verse 5, it says, "Yea, also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlarge his desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people." All right. So we know this man that set up United States of America, he is as hell and is as death. Because what did it take him to build this country? It was hell and death, rape, rob, and murder. Okay. And he promotes nothing but death. Okay. Man against man, woman against woman. That's not a lifestyle. That's a death style, because you can't produce. You can't reproduce. So it brings death. And if that keeps going on, this whole world would be dead. Okay. And also, too, just the different GMOs. All right. He tweaks the seeds, the seeds of the fruits that grows on the trees. All right. He tweaks those so they're not all natural. All right. They're not real life. Okay. He is as hell and he is as death, and he gathereth unto himself all nations. All nations are here and fighting for his army. Okay. Verse 6, it says, "Shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, Woe to him that increaseth that which is not his. How long? Destruction to him that increases that is not his." Because how did he build this land? How did he call it his? Rape, rob, and murder. Okay. "And to him that laddeth himself with thick clay." All right. So the nations are going to they're going to go against him. All right. Because they're going to come back into remembrance. Like, wait a minute. This man is as hell and as death. Everywhere he goes, he destroys everything. Verse 7, "Shall they not rise up suddenly that shall bite thee, and awake that shall vex thee, and thou shalt become booties unto them, because thou hast spoiled many nations, all the remnant of my people, of the people shall spoil thee, because of men's blood, and for the violence of the land, of the city, and all that dwell therein." You see, because of the violence of the land and of men's blood. All right. So this place right here, called the United States of America, Babylon the Great, it's going to be turned into the lake of fire. Okay. It's going to be turned into the lake of fire. As a matter of fact, let's go to, I believe it's the book of Psalms, chapter 139. All right. Psalms chapter 139. Let's see, go to verse... Psalms 139 and verse 7. Actually, you know what? No, Psalms 9 and 17. Salakia. Yep, here we go. Psalms chapter 9 and verse 17. It says, "The wicked shall be turned into hell, and all the nations that forget Yahweh." Okay? Turned into a hellish condition. Now let's see what this hell is right here. "Death and hell shall be cast into the lake of fire." All right, Sheol. Okay, he is as hell and he is as death. Okay, so let's go to the book of Revelation, chapter 20 and verse 14. Actually, let's start off with verse 11. Judgment, okay, at the throne of God, Yahweh. And I saw a great white throne, and him that sat on it, from whose face the earth and the heaven fled away, and there was found no place for them. And I saw the dead, small and great, stand before Yahweh, and the books were opened, and another book was opened, which is the book of life. And the dead were judged out of those things which were written in the books, according to their works. And the sea gave up the dead which were in it. Death and hell delivered up the dead which were in them, and they were judged every man according to his works. Death and hell were cast into the lake of fire. This is the second death. Okay, it says, whosoever was not found written in the book of life was cast into the lake of fire. Because what's the book of life? It's these scriptures. And everything contrary to this, you remain in the congregation of the dead. All right, you remain in the congregation of the dead, and death and hell shall be cast into that lake of fire. Okay, now let's go to and remember when the Lord warned us about the hell fire, it was talking about dead filth and dead animals. Now without this, without these scriptures, without the book of life, and without subscribing to it, you remain dead dogs and filth. Okay, I'm gonna get to that. Let's see. For without our dogs, yep. All right, Revelation 22 verse 15. Let's start off with verse 13. I am the Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end, the first and the last. Blessed are they that do his commandments, that they may have right to the tree of life, and may enter in through the gates into the city. For without are dogs and sorcerers and whoremongers and murderers and idolaters, and whosoever maketh a lie. You see? So all that filth is prepared for future judgment to get cast into the lake of fire. Just like what we went into, hell, Gehenna, a place where filth and dead animals were all put together in a pit to be burned up. Okay? So this is a future judgment. It's not a place where you automatically die if you're wicked and you just go straight there and you just burn up. Okay? All right. So, but yeah, that's what it is. It's a place of future judgment. Actually, you know what? Let me get 2 Peter. The book of 2 Peter, chapter 2 and verse 4. So it says, for if God spared not the angels that sinned, but cast them down to hell, and delivered them into chains of darkness to be reserved unto judgment. All right, it says nothing about fire. It just says, but cast them to hell and delivered them into chains of darkness to be reserved unto judgment. Now let's go into this hell right here. Okay, so this is a different Greek word of hell. Tartaru. Or Tataru, let's get it.
Strong's G 5020. Tartarao. Tartarao.
Tartarajo. Okay, so let's get at the definitions. It says the name of the subterranean region, doleful and dark, regarded by the ancient Greeks as the abode of the wicked dead, where they suffer punishment for their evil deeds. It answers to Gehenna of the Jews, to thrust down to Tartarus, to hold captive in Tartarus. Okay, so remember in the book of Isaiah what we read about, you know, therefore they have gone into captivity. All right, therefore hell enlarged itself. Okay, because they have no knowledge. All right, what we read earlier, Isaiah 5 and 14. Okay, so this is a different hell right here. All right. 2 Peter chapter 2, verse 4. For if God spared not the angels that sinned, but cast them down to hell and delivered them into chains of darkness. Okay, because we were the angels that created this with Yahweh Shai. All right. And delivered us into chains of darkness, which is these bodies, to be reserved unto judgment. You see, reserved. And spared not the old world. What was the old world? That was Noah. But saved Noah, the eighth person, a preacher of righteousness, bringing in the flood upon the world of the ungodly. Okay? You see? Verse 6. And turning the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah into ashes, condemned them with an overthrow, making them an ensample unto those that after should live ungodly, and delivered just Lot, vexed with the filthy conversation of the wicked. Okay, so Lot, he was in the midst of the filthy and the wicked that shall be cast into the lake of fire, that hell, where the filthy and the wicked for future judgment will be burned up to clean the earth. You see? All right, so let's go back to Revelation 20 and 14. All right. So it says, and death and hell were cast into the lake of fire. Okay. So that's the reason why the Lord, he mentioned that flood of Noah, because this time it's no longer going to be a flood of water, but it's going to be a flood in a lake of fire. So it says, and death and hell were cast into the lake of fire. This is the second death. Okay. This is not the old world no more. This is a new one compared to Noah, and he's about to destroy it again just as he did Noah. That's the reason why he mentioned that, all right, about Noah and also Sodom and Gomorrah. Verse 15, and whosoever was not found written in the book of life was cast into the lake of fire. Okay, so death and hell will be cast into the lake of fire, a place where filth and dead and wicked are gathered up, ready to be burned, so the earth can be purified. Okay, all right, so that's the true definition and the true meaning of hell. Okay, and to knock out those doctrines that it's a fiery place where you're wicked and you automatically die and you have a red man with a pitchfork and and you burn forever. Okay. But yeah, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakah Kodash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to the hopeful elect, pushing this truth around the four corners of the earth, and the men, women, and children that are subscribed to this truth. Shalom.